Hey, what is going on, guys? MechlordGames here today with the last and final deck of the Dragons of Legend box. This is a budget Cyber Dragon deck. There's a lot of nice, neat stuff in here, but it's definitely not that good in my opinion, just because without the Galaxy Knights, this deck does feel a little awkward to play. But nonetheless, on a budget, it's still not bad to play. So we are running triple Cyber Dragon. These aren't the ones that come with it. You get normal, just common Cyber Dragons. I decided to use my good ones because I'm a rarity whore, and I just want to show off my shininess. 3 Cyber Dragon Core. This is pretty much like one of your main combo pieces in the deck. When it's normal summoned, you can add a Cyber Spell or Trap card. So like your Cyber Repair Plant or your Cyber Network. 3 Cyber Dragon Dry. This can make all Cyber Dragons level 5. So if you have Core and this, they can both become level 5. And then you can make Infinity out of it. For a little bit of defense and protection, we have the 2 Cyber Valleys. If your opponent attacks this, you banish it, end the battle phase, and draw a card. So it just helps you get a little bit more out. For actually a nice defensive monster as well, 2 Cyber Dinosaurs. This comes with the deck as well, and this card's actually not too bad in my opinion. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon this from your hand, so it's really not bad. It is a level 7, which does synergize with the Machina Fortresses you get. I'm running my Rarity Whore Machina Fortresses, just because I can. This card at 3 might be considered a little too much, but it's actually just really powerful, and a lot of people underestimate this. So, if your opponent summons a monster, and you have Cyber Dinosaur in hand, you can summon that, and then you can pitch a card with Machina Fortress, and then you actually can make a rank 7 out of it. So these two actually synergize decently together, but Fortress is really good because if it's targeted by a monster effect, you can look at a card in your opponent's hand and send it one, basically discard it, and then if it's destroyed by battle, you can destroy one card in the field. So it takes a little bit to get over Fortress, but I mean, if he gets Dark Hold, it's if he gets Dark Hold, it's whatever. So for actually one of the most unique cards, I didn't realize how powerful it was Cyber Eltanin. So it's a light machine, so it's searchable as Cyber Repair Plant. But the unique thing about this guy is that you special summon him by banishing all light monsters, well, all light machine monsters from your graveyard, which is fine. Because when you special summon him, you send all other face-up monsters in the field to the graveyard. It doesn't target, and it doesn't destroy. It just sends them straight to the graveyard. So if you're playing against Spiral, and you search this guy and you summon this guy when they have Sleeper on board, you can just go ahead and use this and send everything of theirs to the grave and pretty much wipe out their whole board. So it's a really good card. If they set up like a Trigate Wizard or something, then you're gonna have to force the Trigate Wizard's negation, then you just summon this and their whole board's gone. And then they have to try to reset up and reestablish the board, which will be really hard because Spiral's recovery is not very good. So for our spells, 3 Cyber Repair Plant. This is actually the best spell in the deck by far, because you can search out any light machine monster. So you can search out Cyber Dragon, you can search out, you can just search out a lot of stuff. So it's not bad. You can search out the Cyber Eltanin, you can search out Cyber Dinosaur, Cyber Dragon Core, Cyber Dragon Dry. Now, this is my favorite card in the deck, the Machine Duplications. These don't come with it, these were something that I put in. These cards are old, so they do look a little shitty. But use this on the Cyber Dragon Core. You want to see these and Core as much as possible, and then you can special summon 2 Cyber Dragons from the deck, because while this is in the field, it's considered a Cyber Dragon. So you just machine dupe this and get out 2 Cyber Dragons. I really I only run this at 3 because I want to see it as much as possible with Cyber Dragon Core when I get Core. So for our fusions, 2 Overload Fusion. Honestly, I'm considering upping this to 3, just because how strong this card really actually is. And then I'm running the double power bond. I'm not liking the double power bond as much. I'll probably drop out one power bond for the third overload fusion because it's honestly probably the best card that they have. As generic destruction, the evolution burst, I'm still not sold on this guy. Honestly, I'd rather just have, like, I mean, if you don't have Twin Twisters, this card's still okay. You can just target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So I mean, it's generic removal. It's not too terribly bad. And if you're on a budget, this card does its job. It's not a quick play or anything, but it can still be used. But Cyber Dragons can't attack. So, but just Cyber Dragon itself can't attack. It can kind of hurt you, but it's not too bad. And then our one of machine limiter removal for our spells. So for our traps, we have 3 Cyber Network. This card is absolutely amazing, unless it gets banished. If it gets banished, you're kind of screwed. But so you can banish light machine monsters from your deck, and then when this card leaves the field, when this card is destroyed, you get to special summon back as many banished light machine monsters as possible. So during each turn, your opponent's and yours, you just banish pieces, banish parts, and then this gets destroyed. You can just summon him back. Machina Fortress, if he gets disturbed with battle, and you use Machina Fortress's effect, you pop Cyber Network, and then Cyber Network's effect goes off and gets you aboard. So that's kind of the good thing about that. So for our defensive cards, we are running 3 Storming Mirror Force. 3 Drowning Mirror Force, 1 Storming, and 1 Quaking, just for some defensive options. This deck is a very offensive deck, and it doesn't have a lot of defense, so we needed to add the defensive cards to the deck to make it actually a bit more feasible. So for our extra deck, 2 Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. If your opponent has a monster in their extra zone, when their extra monster zone, here's what you can do. You can summon Core. We'll say summon Core, get your search off Core, and then you contact fuse with Core and their extra deck monster, and you make Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. And its attack is basically 2400. Well, the attack right there is 2400. So it's a decent beat stick, and it just looks awesome. So for our one-ofs, I'm playing one of the Rampage Dragon. You definitely kind of want, like, this at 2 is also good. But this card is just stupidly good. So you can, so on summon, you get to destroy spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Well, spell and trap cards on the field. Wait, is it spell and? Wait. Okay, yeah. Spell and trap cards on the field up to the number of monsters used for his fusion. And then you can send up to 2 light machine monsters from your deck, and you can make an additional attack for each one sent to the graveyard. So he sends shit to your graveyard, as well as he pops back row. It's really good. And then Cyber Twin Dragon just can make 2 attacks each battle phase. Big beat stick, nothing really important. And then for Exceeds, triple Cyber Dragon Infinity, because why not? And 3 Cyber Dragon Nova, because why not? So the Nova and Infinities have different purposes. Nova himself is actually really nice. So you can detach a material and target a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard and special summon it. And as a quick effect, you can banish a Cyber Dragon from your hand or face it from your monster zone, and this card gains 2100 attack until the end of your turn. And if this card in your possession is sent to your graveyard by your opponent's effect, you can special summon a machine fusion type monster from your extra deck. So it's a special summon from the extra deck, not a fusion, so you won't get, like, you can summon the Cyber Twin out, or you can summon Cyber End Dragon out if you're running it. But if you do Chimera Tech Mega Fleet, you won't get any attack out of it. And you don't get the destruction off the Rampage Dragon, so don't expect anything huge there. And then for our last two monsters, I'm running the two Keepers, Tyrus and Adrius. Both have destruction effects. These don't come with the deck. These were just extra add-ins that I decided to put in. You could put the Cyber End Dragon in here as well. I just didn't because I derped and didn't realize that I could just summon it off of Nova and have a big beat stick, but that was my oversight. But 2600 beat sticks. These have great destruction effects. Tyrus is a little bit stronger because it's really hard to kill. Adrius can pop face-up cards as to where Tyrus can destroy anything. So keep that in mind when you're playing this. So that is it for the budget Cyber Dragon deck. There are a lot of things that I'd like to change about this, but just with this deck being on a budget, you know how that goes. You can't really adjust too much of it without it being kind of ridiculous trying to do so. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, come on.